Good evening, everyone. You're watching the Red Weatherman YouTube channel. We have the latest update on Tropical Storm Francine from the National Hurricane Center. It is now a 65-mile-an-hour storm. It is moving to the north-northwest at 7 miles an hour, and the pressure is down to 993 millibars, and we expect that to continue to drop in the coming days and those winds to come up as the storm churns in the Gulf of Mexico and eventually approaches the northern Gulf Coast on Wednesday and Thursday. Before I continue, please like the video down below, share the video to all of the different social media platforms, and subscribe to the channel if you have not done so. That's the most important part, so make sure you're subscribed to the channel. Also, follow the Facebook page, James's Weather Forecasts. That's where you can get all of my latest updates that I post regularly. Even when I don't have time to do a video, you can still stay informed by following the Facebook page, James's Weather Forecasts. Link is down in the description of this video and on the screen. And with all of that said, let's deep dive into the storm itself. Take a look here at the water vapor imagery. You can see the storm on satellite. There's Francine right there, and you can see all of the convection wrapping around and into that center of circulation. So it is starting to get its act together, and that is exactly why it has been able to intensify, and it looks like it will continue to be able to intensify over the very warm waters of the Gulf of Mexico. But you also notice you do have this stream of very, very dry air in those red and orange colors just streaming through the south. And that is going to act, I think, to inhibit some further intensification as it approaches the northern Gulf Coast. That would be the tail end of its journey over the Gulf of Mexico right before it makes landfall, and could act to weaken the storm just a little bit. Now, when I say weaken the storm, I don't mean write it off. I mean, instead of a, say, Category 3 hurricane at landfall, perhaps it approaches as a 3 and then it gets downgraded to a 2, but nonetheless still churns up water and dumps a bunch of rain and could cause serious damage to structures and also serious threat to life along the Gulf Coast. And I also want to take a look at the GFS model, and this just kind of gives you a general idea as to where the storm is going to be and how it's going to evolve over time. Obviously, this is just a forecast. It is not set in stone. It should be taken with a grain of salt, but let's go through it here. So here the storm slowly moves to the north-northwest and eventually starts to turn more towards the north and then the northeast as it gets into that little southern jet that's just plowing through the south and pushing all that dry air. So it's going to start to get absorbed by that, and that's going to push it eastward. But nonetheless, impacts to Texas and Louisiana pretty much certain at this point, as well as parts of the other areas of the Gulf Coast as those outer bands move through. And you see this southern push, all those isobars really close together. You see this on Wednesday morning. You see this continue through Wednesday afternoon, and then Wednesday night, you really see it. Those isobars packed in there like sardines in a can, and that's a very strong southerly wind that's going to be coming through coastal Mississippi, coastal Alabama, and certainly central and southeastern Louisiana. And I don't think the storm surge map really does justice to just how far east these storm surges could spread. I think you will see significant water level rise in coastal Alabama, places like Dauphin Island, Gulf Shores, Orange Beach, you name it. Really, if I was the National Hurricane Center, I would have extended probably that yellow area all the way to Pensacola. But that's just a little nitpick right there. And I do think some of these values could be a little bit more significant than what they are should the storm intensify further than what the National Hurricane Center currently forecasts it to, which I think is still possible. Currently, they do have it as a 100-mile-an-hour Category 2 hurricane, which is good. I'm glad they're starting to see that this thing is going to significantly intensify over the warm waters of the Gulf. Earlier, they just had it as a 1 making landfall in Louisiana. Now they've bumped up to 2. I do think it is possible that we still get a major hurricane out of this, though. So we are probably looking at a Category 2 or a 3 at landfall, and then the storm, once it moves inland, will move up roughly the Mississippi River, and it will be falling apart very, very quickly as it does, transitioning, becoming an extratropical cyclone within several hours. So be prepared, be safe in all of this. Probably want to have your preparations done by Tuesday evening if you're on the Gulf Coast. Thanks for watching. Again, like the video down below, share it with everyone you know. Make sure this message gets out, and also subscribe for more updates on the storm and future storms. And also follow that Facebook page. A lot of y'all get kind of antsy when I don't post videos right away. That's a great place for information coming from me. Is follow the Facebook page. That's where I post things that I don't necessarily have time to make videos on. Make sure you follow it. Link is in the description below.